can see that number 4 Red is all the way at the back of the spawn here, and he's actually able to pick off balance here. So now going to be a 2 versus 2 situation, and a big win there from Callum. Now leaves Euphoria all on his own.
Yeah, that's going to be a complete reversal of fortune for Mistaken. So Euphoria, not a stranger to this position in S&D. This is probably about the 5th time today that he's been in this clutch moment, but advantage is going to be with Avenge. Euphoria not able to get a pick right now. CSI get one, is the ball going to be there? Not able to play his life, and that's going to be Avenge with a nice easy trade, and that's going to see them go even further into the lead and on the precipice of taking the series.
Well, they're now 1 round away here from taking map 5, and they're going 1 map away. The all-important prize of the grand final. $2,000 as well for whoever takes this one. Perhaps obviously £1,000 for second place, so not exactly short change to be scoffed at here on the line.
Absolutely, so it is going to be Mistaken now again. They were already on the back foot, 2-round deficit. Avenge on the precipice of being able to take this into the lead. We're back with the fly cam. It's going to be Boys Are Mistaken with bomb balance.
Oh my goodness.
The guy with the responsibility to have it across the kitchen. Shots are going to go out, but no one's going to get tagged up.
Yep. Still no first blood. Oh, that stun check onto Heptix is massive. It looks as though he's going to make some good progression up the map. He gets caught down towards the lower side of mid instead. First blood. Rasco able to get it. Remember, Avenge, they only need 1 more round here. This is done. So, Red looking to see if he can hunt any information. You've got 2 players on the side of Avenge looking to try and push around the back. You've got number 7 Euphoria as well over towards, I believe, bottom bedroom for now. Hasn't spotted anything. With 30 seconds on the clock, Rush with a really big kill. 2 versus 4 situation. Are they going to isolate the man in mid? They are. Red all alone, feeling very blue. And Mistaken now make it 5-4.
That was almost clinical from Mistaken Esports. You wouldn't believe that they were actually behind, but yeah, that's going to keep them within a 1 round deficit. Pressure reapplied over to Avenge. Comms on point for the boys, and there's going to be the old bullet penetration for Rasco in order to clean that up. But again, Mistaken just need a little bit of luck on the side. But again, how important that first blood is. Avenge going to be on the offensive. Potentially Heptix again with bomb, but are they going to be able to do something different? Callum is going to be the guy.
Oh man,
nominated.
Nades going through. First blood. Red is able to grab it this time. So bomb's going straight down over towards A. They are not messing around here in this round. They want to get that timer chalked by another 30 seconds. 45 seconds left on the clock here. The next engagement is going to be huge here. If Mistaken manage to tie it up to 3 apiece, it's doable. If they drop the next life, you're probably going to call it curtains. And it's going to be a purple kill. Callum is able to provide it. Euphoria trades back though. So 2 versus 3 situation. Rasco just hunting for any sort of peek, any information that he can try and provide to his teammates to maybe try and bully them off the point, but they can't do it. Avenge take the round. Avenge take the map. And now Avenging are... Avenging? God, Avenging with the Revenging as they now take the lead in the series.
Julian Cardew is indeed the Avenging Angel, as it is going to be a 3-2 in this grand final to Avenge Esports there, step by step, being shoving the doubters, and absolute work coming out of every player. There hasn't been a dominant performance from any individual player. They've provided kind of like really intelligent plays, and obviously an S&D Red with a lot of information, playing quite out into the sticks almost. I know it's not the biggest map in the world, but just getting that bit of information. But a couple of times, mate, you did notice Avenge, they would go 1 behind, they would get that first blood, but it didn't matter. They were able to turn things round, and again, leaving the likes of Euphoria in a position where he thought he was on the upper hand, but then it got turned into 1v2, and we saw that in that round 5, I believe. So yeah, just what can you do? You just cannot unlock the problem that is Avenge Esports at the minute.
Yeah, and search and destroy. So Mistaken have taken 1 search, Avenge have taken the other, a 6-5 and a 6-4. Very fine margins between these 2 sides. It's been a little bit of a strange series, perhaps. Obviously, when we look back over it, the Skyline hardpoint, 250 to 78 was how Avenge started the series, and we all of a sudden thought, oh, hang on a minute, this might be over very, very quickly. Obviously, Mistaken, they've been battling tooth and nail here in this grand final. All the breaks in between obviously haven't helped the momentum of the series, but regardless, Avenge, they are now 1 map away from being crowned the champions here at the ES Hub January Clash. So it might potentially be off the back of a Hacienda control if they can get it done potentially in 6 maps. Obviously, our last remaining 2 maps, if it does go the distance, are both Hacienda. So now it's just going to be a case of what the guys have got in offer here, because obviously the last time we saw Revenge, I believe, on a Hacienda, it was up against the Magpies, and they did struggle on that map against those guys. So whether or not Mistaken will be able to capitalise on that one, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, that could largely be an outlier as well. Obviously, the Magpies were very well versed with the Hacienda, and I don't want to say because of their age, but largely pushing that kind of like 25, 26 age, they will have been well versed with it in its previous iteration in Black Ops 4, and I think the pace is largely the same. So whether that's an outlier and they were just so good at that map, all the kind of peaks and headies that are kind of like natural to a team that have played that at a highest level as well, not just a bit of ranked. They were playing that in terms of like at a high challenger level. So that could be an outlier. Whether the boys are mistaken are going to have the same kind of impact that Magpies had in the Hacienda is definitely up for doubt. But what we've seen so far, every time Mistaken seem to get themselves into a position where you feel like suddenly Rush is going to come to life, or suddenly Rasco is going to come to life, they get it shoved right back down their throats. And it's not just Julian Cod or Callum Cod. Heptix has had an absolute influence, and obviously Red has as well. So we do go into the Hacienda control, kind of a bit of an anomaly. We really don't know what to expect out of these two teams.
Yeah, I assume the guys are getting lobbied up and ready to go very, very shortly for that Hacienda control. I mean, I don't think we even really should talk about flag planting at this stage. Obviously, the way the series has gone, literally, it has gone avenge, mistaken, avenge, mistaken, avenge. So if we're following the track of the pattern here, it's Mistaken's turn now, just to manage to take.
To be fair, like your grand final, you've seen these two teams come through winners and losers brackets right the way through. It wasn't just like a kind of like, avenge dropped in late in the day. They kind of like made quite a hearty losers run. So it is kind of like the final we deserve. In many ways, it is kind of the grand final that we expected. Although, some of the score lines have been a bit wild. We've seen a very close red card. We've been in insanely not close Skyline hard points. We've seen obviously Avenge go big in the vault control. So it's just what to expect, and we obviously haven't seen these two go head to head in Hacienda control. So not a lot of information to gather. We obviously just know that the boys of Avenge just weren't able to deal with the Magpies, but that might not mean anything at all. A Mistaken might just be as equally on the struggle bus as the boys of Avenge are in terms of heading into this. But again, I don't think this is players' favourite in terms of Hacienda. I think Hardpoint plays really well on this map. It's kind of like it plays to the nature. Hacienda S&D offers something that a lot of the other maps don't really offer, which is that ability to be able to plan both sides. Obviously, you don't see that a lot on something like Vault and Skyline in particular as well. So it's just kind of like, again, the outlier map as well in many ways. And obviously at the beginning of the season we thought we might be heading into the kinds of rewinds and things like that we do miss, but Hacienda looks like it's going to be the one that's going to break the back of one of these teams.
It does feel like on Avengers side as well, obviously their ability in Search and Destroy does pivot quite heavily off of their first bloods. It feels as though they have the ability on the team, and we saw Red get an ace in that opening round to really set the pace on that one, but that was one where they were on the back foot because they lost the first blood, and they have kind of lent quite heavily towards those individual players being able to kind of clutch up in those rounds. Whereas on the flip side, when they start to get first bloods, I think that's when we start to see the best Search and Destroy out of them, because they then, it just seems like they capitalise on the advantage a little bit more than the likes of Mistaken have done, at least from what we've seen in the Search and Destroy. So we'll have to wait and see if that is going to continue, because it does feel as though at the moment there is something maybe on the side of Avenge. Obviously they are the closest side to taking the trophy home. We've just one more map remaining to get it done, but Hacienda control, mate, again, it's a respawn and it's a Mistaken roster that they're up against here, so this is very much a case of we'll just let the COD players do the talking.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be all about, in this map, that kind of mid-control again. We talk about it in S&D, but it's very much about whether you are going to be able to get that offensive A zone. Now, when we went into the vault control, that was entirely the story. It was a completely offensive blowout, and at times, Avenge just looked unstoppable. This is a completely different beast. I think this A zone it's just horrible to try and take.
Yeah. Well, Mistaken are on the defensive side first. It looks as though the B side is going to be the opportune moment for the players to try and push through. Balance with one, balance with two, and straight away, right off the clock, the boys are on fire, grabbing a couple of picks.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice nade going to player back.
Shots.
We balance with a third, again, a player that we don't often talk about. We said he might be the difference maker if the other two players in Rush and Rasco aren't able to do that, and Euphoria and Balance are having a pretty solid game, but it's been a stout defense so far. But you can see number two in Julian, again, being that player to look at in behind the team to try and cause a little bit of problems, and indeed he is able to do that as he drops Rush, who again is still largely on the Rush 1 and 3. What a start from Balance.
Nice work. Progression slowly working its way up on the A point. Again, it's so hard to stay alive on the point, and they do manage to take Red down in that one. But look at the opportunity it's given a few players to work up towards the B site. Balance going to be on his own here, looking over towards that top plat area. Going to have to try and grab a couple of picks. No, they shut him down straight away. The stack's looking very good in the short term, at least for now. Rasco going to try and push his way, I believe, through the bottom side of mid over towards those players. He's just checking the corners before he gets there. Rush is doing a little bit of work as well over towards the time, but the second tick is now pretty much imminent, and the gunfight's going very much in favour of the team in purple. Balance with one, can't get a second. Euphoria finally gets himself on the board with a kill, and more importantly, they just stop that progression from coming through, at least for now.
Yeah, Heptic still with that responsibility. He's going to be able to push on and add a little bit more time. He finally gets dealt with. The Mistaken Esports taking their time to get control of B. Avenge, played that so well. He held on, the stack for a little bit of time, pushed out correctly, able to get that first wave of kills, but it is going to be enough, and 22 seconds on the clock could see another stealth defense. They haven't got that tick over towards A, and again, this just proven to be a very difficult offensive map. It does look like it is going to be a steady stack towards B. That is potentially going to get done. Rush with the contest, able to get the picks. Is he going to be able to get it? No, it is going to be Mistaken, able to start to drain that B back. Time is starting to ebb away, Major. 9 seconds on the board.
They've got to go his way. They're legging it over towards the A point. Are they going to get somebody on the time, and are they going to keep him alive? That's the important thing. Heptix grabs a pick. They actually managed to slip through towards B as well, so a little bit of attention has been grabbed there. So it's 11 plays 14. Third tick not done just yet. 2.3 seconds on the clock. Heptix with a big pick can't stay alive for long enough, but there is still one player on towards the other point. Callum's done a really good job actually of managing to do that. It's just going to be so hard to stay alive in towards the middle portion of the map, but the gunfights go a little bit purple. Callum with 3! That's massive for the guys of Avenge.
We said Callum being quiet in the previous well, he's decided to wake up now on the 3 streak, and this has been huge plays from 2 seconds on the board. They're about to potentially...
He's done.
Balance has managed to get himself over. It is going to be the B zone done, and only 1 tick required, and they've got a solid minute. It is going to be 7 plays 9.
Wow, these next gunfights are huge. Oh, they don't spot the player in the corner. A point's done. A point's done. There you go. The offensive round for Avenge. Brilliant work from them in the end. They managed to operate one man over towards B. All the rest of the attention was on A, and that player just laying prone in the corner on the point was absolutely massive.
Maybe they're joking. Maybe they are joking. The boys are mistaken. Maybe they were like, let them pick Hacienda. Magpies was an outlier. We know how to play this map. Maybe they had a little chat to the Magpies after the game to try and learn a thing or two, because they looked absolutely dominant in that, just able to consistently hold. And we talk about that ability to, regardless of the time, kind of almost challenger level ability to be able to just make sure you never lose faith and never lose concentration.
First round on the board for Avenge. And now, Mistaken Esports on the offense. What do they decide to try and do off the break? A few players heading over towards that top mid area. You can always anticipate there's going to be a battle here. Julian loses it again. Balance has been so good off the break, off over towards that top mid area. Is he going to get a second kill as well? He has got Rasco with him here as they go hunting for those players on the side of Avenge. They are pushing straight up the map here. Mistaken, looking to try and discombobulate them, but they're getting picked apart here. Euphoria, important pick. Needs to get himself in the game, and that 2-piece is going to do just that.
Yeah, Heptic's in a really strong position now to cause absolute consternation. It is going to come down to Euphoria to just try and build a little bit of distraction. We've got 2 players either end of the spawn, and that's going to be huge. Heptic gets another pick. 9 and 5 having an absolutely stellar game again on the 3 streak. Mistaken Esports again on the struggle bus in terms of just trying to break down the resilience of this Avenge side, and a huge flank that he was able to do just gets punished immediately as we see the kill feed go entirely purple. Unfortunately, Mistaken Major not able to respond.
They need a lot more from the likes of Rush, from the likes of Rasco, who have been brilliant all day long. Balance can't get it done. Heptix with 2. Julian combines for 3, and the momentum shift is looking well and truly purple now. Avenge 24 plays 18. 18 seconds left on the clock for Mistaken to even just stop the timer. Keeping on number 2 though. Julian's going to be watching over towards his fences area. Gets a couple of shots in, but gets the information that they need to maybe clear these players off. One over towards the outside of fences. Callum grabs 1. 3 will fall. Number 6 in Rasco is trying his best to stay alive here. The pistol will do well to grab a 2-piece, but now they're scrambling over towards the A point. Balance stops the clock, but it's only for a split second and 2 seconds. They've got to fly onto the point. Point 1 is what they've got. Point 1 is what they do not have, though, as Avenge take them off the point, and now they are 1 round away from getting this tournament wrapped up.
For many portions of this grand final, 0.01 was what was separating the 2 teams, and right now it is 2 solid rounds of control that puts Avenge Esports on the precipice of the East Hub LAN and £2,000. Incredible performance, dominant at times. And you got to look to that man Haptics putting up some huge numbers. Mistaken now really need to turn things up. Where's Rush? He's got to become the player that we've seen him all weekend. He really needs to step up.
Yeah, 7 from Hectics puts him at 13 and 5. Julian, ever reliable at 12 and 7. And this is really Mistaken Esports back up against the ropes now. They need 3 rounds in a row in order to push this game 5. And Rush still struggling. They need a little bit more from the man who's putting his name on the peg for the MVP side of things here. They need it quickly. Red, though, there's a big couple of kills. One of them is actually on a teammate, which isn't ideal, but they're on the B point, and the progression is looking good for now.
Oh,
as they're still managing to bully Mistaken off the map all over the place.
Rush got the big job now. He needs this, some windy shots. Doesn't look confident. Trades back in towards Shed. Able to take the players off. It is going to be 3 on the board for the boys of Mistaken. They're going to clear that out. There is going to be a massive rush over towards that stone area, rock area, as they try to push through towards that A point. It is going to be red arrows everywhere. And again, there's going to be a trade back and forth. Julian does drop Euphoria. So a little bit of control. You can see just how aggressive the team of Avenge are as they push right into spawn. It is going to force number 8 in Euphoria to have a little think about where the potential players are going to be. Does check the corners, but he's not able to win the gunfight, Major. That could be huge.
1 ticket B, though, isn't ideal. Going to need a little bit more. Heptics again. That's been so good over towards this B site. And now the double stack comes through. Balance waiting for somebody to challenge him. Gets a couple of shots into one man on the point, but they're going to try and maybe get on towards the B point. Maybe too little too late. Never mind. Rasco springs into action. Able to get one. Euphoria watching over the top of him is going to do enough just to stop them on that time. But now here goes Callum to the races. Shots in through the fences. Not going to be enough to finalise that kill. But look at the time. This is going to be the important thing for Mistaken. Just stopping them. But every single time it feels as though they're going to get it rounded out. Avenge just seem to find a way through. Red gets an important pick. 19.6 seconds. Stops the clock.
Yeah, believe it or not, 20 seconds ago, Callum and Rasco were in a head-to-head, and they still are. It is finally Rasco that falls. That B-zone is on the precipice of getting done. 19 seconds stopped on the clock. It is going to be 1 tick towards A, and it's going to be absolutely huge. B finally secured 16 lives plays, 14 Avenge on the precipice.
Here comes the streaks as well. Heptics raining death from above. Everything is going at this. The kitchen sink. The works. Red in, kills through. A's done. It is Avenge. Up they get. The haters are going to hate, but the boys come through. They take the championship. They can do it online. They seem to be able to do it on LAN as well.
They have absolutely proved everyone wrong. They've made their way through the losers bracket, and they've done it in emphatic fashion. Hats off to every single player at times, contributing some incredible kills. Julian, Callum, Haptics, Red, take a bow.
Wow, what a performance from the boys. I'll tell you what, everyone was wanting these boys to lose this tournament. Every single person online. A lot of people here as well had criticism over these guys. But listen, all you can do is you can turn up to these tournaments and you can provide a show, and that's exactly what they've provided for us here. I say Mistaken, we're looking like the team that was going to go all the way without losing a series. And I'll tell you what, Avenge, they had the hiccup. They dropped down to the losers bracket. Everyone jumped on their back, but they managed to get it done. So yeah, absolutely incredible performance from these boys, and rightly so, the ES Hub January Clash champions, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got to put some respect on their names. We come out of day 1 with Julian and Callum being kind of most talked about players, just incredible at times. We know that there's been a lot of accusations, and they've managed to prove the doubt as long. But today, for me, it's been about Haptic and Red managing to prove again just how capable they can be. Red pulling the strings wherever he could, and Haptics again putting up some huge numbers. Mistaken just never really able from the outset of that absolute blowout on hard point. You just felt that momentum was lost, and it was a bit of a gut punch that seen them absolutely on the back foot.
Yeah, you can see the clips on the screen. Mistaken, unfortunately, just a little too late to the party in that grand final. We don't get the full 7 maps, but we get 6 entertaining ones per that one, so we can't really complain at the grander scheme of things. It's been a brilliant tournament all day long, all weekend long really, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen so many new faces, we've seen so many old friends, and obviously it's been great to cast over the likes of Eclectic, who travelled all the way from the continent to play in this, getting that 3rd place. We've seen a resurgence from the old boys, the Magpies, you know, getting that 4th place slot and playing so very well. The Faceless boys again turning up with a lot of our old friends that we've seen and played with and played against, and it obviously absolutely worked from them, but it is going to be Avenge who managed to take it and take it in absolute style as well. I mean, the question you got to ask now is MVP, mate. How do you pick one?
I mean, you're probably picking between Callum and Julian. I think for the consistency that the guys have provided all weekend long. Julian's been phenomenal, but so too has Callum. I'll tell you what, we'll probably should we give the onus to Mark?
Yeah,
Mark,
you can have that one pick.
Give it to him. I don't know whether the guys are ready to pass it over to just yet. We will just wait just a split second, but obviously Pabs one. We got the thumbs up to hand it over, mate. I mean, before we do, very shortly, got to give a shout out to ES Hub and all the guys here at Staffordshire University. They've been absolutely phenomenal. The fans, the players, they've made an incredible event here. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. But we're going to throw it over to Mark and your champions here over in Staffordshire University.
There we go. Thank you very much, Pablo Major. Great cast once again. Thank you. We're joined at the desk here. We've got the boys of Avenge and a few others. They're getting their round of applause. Guys, a fantastic series. It was I thought it was going to go the distance, but you managed to close it out there in that final hard point, or the final control. But how do you think overall as a weekend it went for yourself?
Yeah, I think the weekend was pretty good for the most part, apart from the slow start this morning. But yeah, I think in the end the boys definitely got what they deserved. But also respect to the people they've just beat in the final. Those guys are also great players. Disgusting, but I think the better team won in the end, to be honest.
Well, we said at the start, and everybody was like, right, Avenge has got to go on to win this. If they don't, there's something wrong, and everybody's putting you've put criticism a lot of the time from the challengers, but you've came out, you've shown, obviously Mistaken was probably your hardest team, would you say?
Yeah, definitely the hardest team. I think there was probably two or three teams here that were probably stand out from the rest. The guys that we played in the final, and probably the ones in the losers final as well. But yeah, the guys are just ridiculous, mate. The talent on this team is fucking mental.
Well, your support have been absolutely fantastic. They've been egging you on the whole way through. There's been back and forwards between the crowd. It's been fantastic. But you are the winners of the Esports Hub January Clash. So I will hand out your awards. Do we get an individual award each? Well done, Red. Julian, you've had a fantastic series as well. Well done. Callum, honestly, keep it up. Some young talent on show here, ladies and gents. There you go. Have a wee celebration for yourself, lads. Go on. MVP. That's a good point. Where's our analyst? Ian, sorry, where is Ian? Because Ian was going to be giving you and Cassius. They decided they're going to give out an MVP. But I don't know where Cassius is. So there he is. Cassius, come over. Cassius has got his MVP award as well. You can take control. It's all on you.
Before I say MVP, everyone played well. Congratulations and congratulations to Avenge. I think it would be rude to not give the MVP to someone on the winning team. I do think Harry should win it, really, but I'm getting word that Harry can't be with us right now, so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give it to one of you lot. All right, my bad.
Who do you think?
Okay, you had the same idea as me. Yeah, all right. MVP is Julian. Congratulations.
There you go. He was a bit scared of the mic because it's right in your face. But guys, thank you very much. If you're tuning in on Twitch, thank you very much for it. Hope you enjoyed the whole weekend. It's been a long haul for everybody here. Thanks to the production in the back, the guys that organised it, the casters, everybody else in the admin side of things, and really the university for such a venue that we have. And obviously all you spectators for coming along. Thank you very much and have a good time.
haters been calling, my enemies stalling, my people been balling, my team we been wildin'. Canada 100, we use basic tools. Strategies moving where we gotta move. There wasn't no option, no time on the clock, and no setting it back, and we gotta get profit. I'm standing on top of the glory, the road. We was just rebels, ain't do what was told. When they asked me how we leveled up, without us getting stuck, we just muscled up. This game spin, no one gotta tighten up, gotta muscle up, or you will get stuck in this game. I'm balling on top of that mountain, I'm on and I'm calling my mama to tell her I'm good. I'm surrounded by family like back in the hood. I was falling from grace, I was misunderstood. Hey, the pressure will sit you right down, but I stood up, I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. On the balcony screaming, they just let me be. We had to slow it down, what goes around comes around. Oh, the frequency different now, I was going through different rounds. Hey, it's crazy, the progress is hitting now. Ain't no sitting and lost and found. I found what I lost in a minute now. I was on the wrong path, I admit it now. My only option was to get it now.
I got it on both and I learned from the losses. My failure was friendship, I saw it was costing. Started like everyone had certain tools. Only difference is I knew what to do. Now everyone calling when progress is stalling. My stock is slowing, my life it ain't boring. Ain't no more hitting me up when you lose. When it's time to wake up, see you hitting the snooze.
When they ask me how we leveled up, without us getting stuck, we just muscled up. This game spin, no one gotta tighten up, gotta muscle up, or you will get stuck in this game.
Knocking models, popping bottles, knocking models. I wanna bump a beat that goes hard. I wanna bump a beat that goes hard. Popping bottles, knocking models. Popping bottles, knocking models. Popping bottles, knocking models. I wanna bump a beat that goes hard. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. I wanna bump a beat that goes hard. I wanna bump a beat that goes hard. Popping bottles, knocking models. Popping bottles, knocking models. Popping bottles, knocking models. I wanna bump a beat that goes hard. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. I wanna bump a beat that goes hard.
Heaven just knows what it was. Will I go back to the place where I belong? Everyone could break my heart, but I try my best to not fall apart. And I found it hard to let go. The memories keep me together. Gotta fight till the end, no pressure, no pressure. And I find it hard to say no to the ones who want something better, to the ones who never say never. You'll be my pleasure.